Aloha, shalom. We're here for the new moon activation and I'm excited. I'm feeling it. So the new moon is tomorrow. As you guys know, sometimes I come on a day before. I'm really feeling it in this moment. So we're just gonna jump in. Whew. So I'm gonna begin to shuffle. And I just want to remind you that the new moon activation is all about a new beginning. Okay, the sky is dark. Think of it like a fresh slate, clean slate, and we're beginning anew. So last week was the final quarter activation, and that was all about closing up one cycle and setting the space for this new cycle to begin. And if this is your first time here, welcome. We do this every week, and we've been doing it for years. I don't even know how many years, maybe 6 years now, something like that. So go ahead and let me know in the comments, where in the world are you tuning in from? Where in the world are you? Phoenix, Arizona in the house. And feel free to share this video now while we're live with family and friends. Maybe you know someone who could use some guidance right now, or you know someone who could help activate this message even further, someone you look up to, send it to them now. Or feel free to share at the end. The recording will also, as usual, be loaded to YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic, in case someone's not on Facebook and you want to share it. Giving thanks in advance for this message that's about to come through. We've got Texas in the house. We've got another Texas in the house. We have Ontario, Canada in the house. Just giving thanks. This message that is about to come through is basically a map that can help us maximize our potential, minimize the chaos and the crises. California in the house. So basically it just takes away all the extraneous stuff and gets us straight to the point, gives us exactly what we need to know, the priority information, so that we can move forward with the most grace and ease. Maine in the house. All right, giving thanks to the one for this message that's about to come through. For this new moon, this new moment. What is the focus, also known as the challenge and gift? What's something that's holding us back that we're ready to let go of, right? And that's also known as the hidden fear. And with the Hebrew cards, as usual, we'll pull an ally of the week. All right, let's go. Challenge and gift, also known as the focus. 9 of Cups. Cups is the suit of the heart, emotions. 9s are endings, whereas 10s are endings and new beginnings. 9 is the end. So if this is the focus, we're being asked to focus on true fulfillment of the heart. But remember, this is a collective reading. When we do these readings, we're not just talking about the small self, but we can start there because you're a microcosm of the macrocosm, right? So whatever you do affects the whole, ripples out. So right now would be a great time to look at where are we putting our effort, right? Our energy in relationships, in projects, in our work, the everyday tasks, right? Whatever it is you're doing, whomever you're coming across, whatever situations you're coming across, how are you tying your heart into it? Have you forgotten that this is all a game to fulfill the one heart? Because that's really why we're here, to even turn those mundane, those seemingly mundane tasks into an opportunity to fill up the cup of the heart. So instead of looking at it as where am I not doing that? We can look at it as, how can I do that more? How can I make this fun? How can I make everything I'm doing a pursuit for that heart's trophy, that filled up cup, that overflowing cup? And the key, as always, is in connecting this pursuit to our collective purpose, which is bringing heaven to earth, bringing more light to this planet, which is equal to filling up the one cup, the one heart, okay? The one heart's fulfillment, the one collective heart's fulfillment is equal to the fulfillment of this plan to bring heaven to earth. It's equal. Okay, all of the suits, ultimately when you come to the end, you're reaching a conclusion, a new level of mastery within that elemental field, right? Whether it's the heart or the mind or the body, the spirit. And they all tie into the same one goal of bringing heaven to earth. When you're fulfilled in one dimension, you're fulfilled in all, right? Because as in one, so it is in all. So they all involve this one pursuit of bringing heaven to earth. That's what it means to have the one cup filled up. So when we ask ourselves, how can I fill up my own cup? We really have to ask, how can I fill up our cup? Okay? Because when we do this, when we seek to fill that one cup, we're supported by unseen forces in this process. We're not alone when we do it for the one. When we work for the one works for us. And the one is all, is everything. It's the greatest source, the most powerful, abundant, infinitely abundant source. So what that looks like, to put it simply, is this. It's like, okay, what am I doing every day and how can I make that more fulfilling for the heart, my heart, and the one heart? It simply, for all of us, is the same answer. It looks like embodying and actualizing the light of the virtues through whatever it is we're doing. It's always about the virtues. And if you can fashion your mind to think in this way, it simplifies all processes. Right? So whatever it is you're doing, let's say you're flipping burgers. How can I be more virtuous in this act? Simple. How can I be more patient? Right? How can I be more loving in this act? For example, let's say somebody drops it on the floor and it becomes contaminated. That means being honest and getting rid of that because it's not good for the one, right? Or if somebody is yelling at you because they're impatient because they want their burger now, it looks like being patient and loving. And first and foremost, remembering there is no separation between you, that person, the burger, the spatula, the facility that you're in. It's all connected. So whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is we're all doing, we can all be on that same path of seeking the opportunities each moment to be more virtuous, to be more compassionate. And compassion is the all virtuous light. It's the virtue that contains all of the others. So when we're being any of the virtues, when we're embodying patience, honesty, modesty, moderation, any of these things, we are embodying a fraction of that great light, which is our true essence. So we are being, in essence, our true selves. And in this way, it doesn't matter what we're doing in the mundane world. It doesn't matter what we're doing in the material world, because we're remaining aware of the true opportunity that lies within the moment. Okay, so this is how you link your individual process of fulfilling your heart to the collective process of fulfilling the one collective heart. I don't want to say killing two birds with one stone. I want to introduce you to a new phrase, feeding two birds with one scone. When we are embodying any of the virtues and we are actualizing the light of any of those virtues, we're fulfilling our own individual heart and the heart of the one at the same time. It's simple. And we don't even really need to think. It doesn't take rocket science. Anyone can do it. We're all capable. In fact, we're all here to do it. So this is the focus right now. How can we bring ourselves back to remembrance of why we're really here in pursuit of this filling up of this cup, the fulfillment of the heart, the one heart, aligning the process of our own heart's fulfillment with the process of fulfilling the heart of the one as a collective unit. So just come back to that simplicity, and it will do something profound for you. It can have a major shift. It seems so simple. Like, oh yeah, just remember, remember what's really fulfilling for the heart. It's being a virtuous. It's for real. It's really, really powerful. And you can sit there and you can laugh and you can say, oh, it's so silly. It's so simple. It's so, elementary and basic. The most profound things always are. We make things complex, and the more complex things get, we spiral away from our center. When we come back to our center, we know, because we will have simplified things in our lives. We'll have simplified our thoughts, our words, and our actions in reflection of the true simplicity that virtue is, that the light of the virtues is. Compassion is simple. So the more complicated we make things, the more that's a sign that we need to slow down, simplify, and return to the simple purpose that we all share. Okay, and in order to call back our energy to be fully present to do this thing, we have another Cups card. So both of the cards we pulled tonight from the tarot, not including the Hebrew card, are cups. Okay, so we have the 6 and the 9. This was the hidden fear, or something that's in the way, something that's blocking us. Okay, and this is the exchange of love, purity, and innocence between the polarities, first within your own self and then all around you. Okay, so let's imagine what the voice of this archetype would say in fear, and then let's neutralize it by imagining what this voice instead says from love, from a place of love, truth, trust. In fear, this archetype looks like this, and this could be very subconscious, okay? It looks like, I'm afraid that I'll never be fulfilled in my heart. I'm afraid that I'll never be able to embody the virtues because I'm imbalanced. I've got a masculine imbalance. I've got a feminine imbalance. I'm afraid that I'm not worthy of love. I'm afraid that I don't know how to give it. I'm afraid that I've lost my innocence. I'm afraid of letting go of my complex materialistic goals of more money, more this, more that, in pursuit of just being a good person. I'm afraid that if I just be a good person, I will lose opportunities for success. That's what this archetype says in fear. Let's look at what this archetype says in love and trust and faith. And when we do this, it neutralizes the fear. Okay, so in faith, this archetype says, I am love. I'm infinite love. Of course, I'm worthy of it. I am it. And of course, I know how to give it. It's the simplest thing to give. It's not even mine. It's coming from an unlimited source. It looks like, of course, the priority is embodying innocence, love, compassion, the virtues. Because I might think that I need to pursue this, or that outside of myself. But when I come back to that original goal of simply being the light of who I truly am, which looks like embodying the virtues, then all falls into place. I cannot be cheated if I do this. What is meant for me will be mine. And of course, I haven't lost my innocence. My innocence is the light of truth that lives within me and within all things, and that can never be lost. It's always all around and within me. Okay, so again, putting these together, you can start to see it's like, well, when we think that our heart is going to be fulfilled by something impermanent, unsustainable, something of the material world, we then think that we have to compromise this path of virtuous embodiment. I need to cut corners, I need to cheat, I need to lie, I need to steal in order to get that thing. But in reality, all we really need to do is focus on being the light of who we really are, embodying the virtues and actualizing their light. And when we do this, sure, you might be right. You might actually not get that promotion, or you might not get that relationship going. But guess what? On a deeper level, it's perfect, because you're not meant to be in that relationship because it's toxic, or you're not meant to get that promotion because that person who was going to hire you for the wrong reasons, you'd then have to maintain a false sense of self just to keep that job. You would be stepping into relationships that are not authentic, that are not honest, that are not sustainable. You are literally being protected when you come back to the simplicity of this path of embodying the virtues, and we're all on it together. We can remind each other. You don't need that thing. You don't need that guy or that girl or that job if it's going to have you compromise and be less than who you are and be inauthentic. If it's going to keep you from your highest path, which we all share, the highest path is walking the royal path. By the way, Tao means royal path. We're all here to walk that path of embodying virtuous light. And if that person or that thing or that job, if that pursuit or habit is going to keep you from returning to the light of who you are and expressing that light and prioritizing and protecting and preserving the beauty of that light, then you should not be afraid to let it go and return. Return to yourself. Your ego will try to make excuses. Oh, but I need that job, but I need that girl, but I need that guy, but I need that pet, but I need that thing. And if you have to compromise this path, if you have to limit yourself on this path of virtuous embodiment in order to get that thing, stop trying to get that. What you need to get is back to yourself. Return to who you really are and the true path. And we're all in it together. You have so much support. You have the most support on that path. In fact, you're not going to find support if you're after something that is not really for you, because the universe doesn't work that way. And life supports life. If what you're after is not going to bring you and this one more light, it's not supported, so give it up. You're swimming against the current. Why would you do that? I don't know why we do that. We're humans. That's why we do that. But we can remind each other again and again. And the ally is the Hebrew letter Lamed. Lamed. And you can Google it. It's going to be flipped, right? Because we're on a camera. So Lamed. And this is in the... you'll see it in the center of the alphabet, and you'll see that this is the tallest letter of the alphabet, and it represents the heart. Okay, the first letter of the Hebrew word for heart is Lamed. The Hebrew word is Lev. The first letter is Lamed. The heart, Lamed, leads the way. It's the highest. It's the most high. There's a little line up here making it taller than the rest of the letters, reminding you this is the most important. At the heart, at the center, is where the truth lies, where the love lives, where the law prevails. Okay. So you want to remember that the heart is the compass. The heart is everything. It's the center of all centers. The heart is what we're seeking to fulfill. It's where we should move from and toward. It's the place of no time and no space. And if we live Lamed by its law, we will always be guided to wherever we need to be, exactly when we need to be there. So look to the heart for the answers. The heart is reminding us of the real path, why we're really here, what we really need to do, what we need to be really after in order to be fulfilled. The heart says, first of all, we're here to fulfill this heart. And it's a hole, a void, it's infinite. It can't really be filled by things. It can only be activated, lit up, so that what is there can be multiplied. It's the light. And when we remember that this law, right, the law is all about vibration here in this realm, like attracts like, then if we want to activate that heart, we need to think, speak, and act, right? Be an instrument for the truth. Bring ourselves to vibrate at the frequency of the heart, attune ourselves to the frequency of the heart, which is truth, love, light. And when we do that, it's like, imagine this part is so pure, it can't be touched, right? And it's just like this beautiful, pure light, can never be taken from you, right? Like we said earlier, it's like your innocence can never be taken from you. It's this beautiful, brilliant, eternal light shining from your center. And out here, we got all this stuff covering it up, but everything's truly made of this same light, okay? So if we begin to think, speak, and act in harmony with this truth that lives here, everything starts to brighten up. Everything starts to vibrate at a different frequency. And then your heart and this light right here starts to match the light that is all around you, and it just connects. And there ends up being no barrier between you and that space. And you allow that light to bleed into everything you touch, everything you think, everything you say, everything you do, everyone you come across. That light is set free to move through and out of you. Okay, also with the Lamed being the ally, it reminds us, again, it connects back to what we said here. You are infinite Lamed, love. You are born of that heart space, right? Who lives in the heart? The mother, father, one. And you come from there. You are that. You're connected to that forever. And when you remember that, when you really listen to the Lamed, that fear of not being worthy, not being enough, feeling like you got to come away from your purity and your truth in order to get that thing you want, the heart reminds you that's all BS. It's all ridiculous. It's not at all why you're here. Remember me. I will guide the way. Yeah. I also want to point out that the Lamed is connected to Arcanum 12 in the Tarot, which is the Martyr, the Hanged Man. And that's all about sacrifice, okay? To put it simply, it's all about sacrifice and letting go of whatever we need to let go of, 12, so that we can move to the 13, death, transform into that which we are really, truly meant to be in any given moment, because we're always changing, right? So Lamed, the heart, is connected to sacrifice. Think of the sacrificial heart, the bleeding heart, the suffering heart, because as humans, our egos suffer. We have to let go of what we thought we wanted or needed, because again and again, we come back to remembrance of who we really are, why we're really here, and what we're really after. What's really going to satisfy and fulfill us, which is not anything of this temporary world. It's always love, light, truth, compassion. So the heart, the path of the heart involves sacrifice. But when you can lock in your remembrance of who you are and why you're here and what the heart really is in relation to you, to the one, then you can go through this process of sacrifice again and again with more and more grace and ease and acceptance, willingness to participate in that sacrifice. Okay, you all know some great archetype who represents the sacrificial heart, who represents so readily accepting what must be sacrificed for the one. That archetype lives within you, within me, within all of us. So the ally of the week, the Lamed, represents not just the heart, but the sacrificial heart, the one who is ever loyal, does whatever it must to preserve, protect, defend, and activate the truth, love, light that lives at the center of the center. And I also want to point out that 12 reduces to a 3. And we have the 3, 6, 9. Hey, 3, 6, 9, the magic sequence. It's all one. That is the magic sequence. It's all within the one. There is no other. Yeah, you can like let go of so many worries and so much extraneous stuff, so many unnecessary thoughts and just stuff that we're carrying when we remember this. When we remember the simplicity of why we're here, to fulfill the one heart, we can let go of so much. It's like such a burden can be set down, so we can really feel free and liberated instantly. It brings up compassion so much easier. It helps us to forgive so much more readily. Because we can set aside the foolishness. We can humble ourselves and say, oh yeah. Yeah, I get it. The heart leads the way. It's all clear what I have to do now. It's all clear how I need to fashion my thoughts now. It's clear how I need to conjure my words, how I need to behave. It all becomes clear when I remember that each moment is an opportunity to be that virtuous light, to be the light of compassion, to be an embodiment of that, an expression of that. New moon, new try, let's go, we got this, we electrified. Thank you guys for being here. I love this 369. Please share this message with anyone you think could really use some guidance right now, or again, anyone who you look up to that can help activate this message further and add to it. If you want to share some personal insights, remember we have a private group called the Archetypal Alliance here on Facebook, so please join us there and share. Shabbat Shalom. And for anybody who's interested in my books, my video courses, or a one-on-one reading, just private message me or send me an email, info@royalpathtarot.com. I'm very available for recorded readings right now in particular, so let me know if you have any questions, reach out. If you want to give back because this activation or a prior activation has helped you, you can Venmo me, Rebecca-Magic. You can PayPal me. You can ask me for my links. I got all the different ways if you want to give back. And for those who have been, I see you. I thank you. I'm so grateful. If you want to give back in a different way, you can write me a review. You can go to facebook.com/royalpathtarot and leave a star review. You'll see like some star reviews there. You just click that. Or you can just send me your words. Send me a private message or email me, info@royalpathtarot.com, and let me know how these activations have touched you. I love doing this thing with you guys. It's amazing. I'll see you in 1 week for the first quarter activation to see how far we've gotten with this work. And also, on the note of Shabbat Shalom, if you want to know more about Shabbat and the current Torah story, I've had a group for years now called Shabbat Crew on Facebook. It's for anyone who wants to join and access the divine wisdom of the Torah and receive the original codes that pertain to this particular moment that we're experiencing within the Great Cycle. All right, y'all. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.